Alright guys, welcome back to the 129th episode of this review series where I review everything in Fortnite Save the World. For this episode, I'm going to be doing a review on Steel Wool Carlos, and what his commander perk is Base Solo Plus. Each elimination during Warcry extends its duration by 0.9 seconds up to a maximum of 15 eliminations. In addition, enjoy a rockin' base solo. But anyway, first let's go over the perks of the weapon I'm using with him, and I'm using the Candy Corn LMG. And the build I put on it is a crit build, which means 1 crit rating and 2 crit damages. So for this first perk, I put the crit rating. It can also be a crit damage, but for this to be a crit damage, you'd have to change a 4th perk to a crit rating. So then there's still 1 crit rating and 2 crit damages. And then for the second perk, I have a magazine size. And then for the third perk, or the element, I have physical, and that's the only thing you can put on this weapon, so it won't be very good against fighting elemental enemies, but against mist monsters or anything that just mainly spawns with no element, then physical will be good for. And then for this next one, we got crit damage, and it can be crit rating. Just make sure you change the first one to crit damage. And then for this 5th one, I have a crit damage. And then for this last perk, the special perk, eliminating enemies with this weapon can spawn healing candy pickups, and this is the only special perk you can get on this weapon, and it's gonna be the only way you're gonna survive in the battle. And next for the hero loadout, for the team perk, I'm using Happy Holidays, which reduces ability cooldowns by 40% and stacks independently from other cooldown reduction perks, and requires 3 heroes with 2 or more stars. Then we got for the support team Practice and Combat, which increases Warcry duration by 3 seconds, and that's by Gold Trooper Ramirez or Brainiac Jonesy. And then next we got Fight or Flight from Special Forces Ramirez, Special Forces Jonesy, or Special Forces Banshee, and they all do the same thing, which is Warcry grants 8.5% additional weapon damage and 8.5% movement speed. And then we got Leadership from Colonel Wildcat, which decreases Warcry cooldown by 17%. Spoils of War from Star Spangled Headhunter. Warcry grants 25% chance for each shot to cost no ammo. And then lastly, we got Mad Tidings from Crackshot. Firing a ranged weapon grants 1 stack of Holiday Spear up to 50 stacks. Each stack of Holiday Spear increases ranged weapon damage by 1%, but decreases weapon stability by 0.2%. Buff removed on weapon swap or reload. And anyway, the gameplay you're seeing in the background is a power level 124 eliminate and collect mission. And anyway, first let's go over Steel Wool Carlos's abilities. And firstly, we've got Going Commando, which doesn't really do all that much damage if you don't have the right hero loadout, and this isn't the right hero loadout, so you're not really going to use it that much, and it has a super long cooldown, so it's not really going to be that useful. And then we got Shockwave, which is really good for clearing out hordes. Like, if your LMG doesn't spray fast enough, then you could just pop this down, do the Shockwave, and just do a lot of damage to all the surrounding enemies, and then you could go back to spraying them down. And then we got his main ability, which is Warcry, which when you pop it, it helps you and your teammates get an extra 45% weapon damage, 30% fire rate, and 20% melee attack speed buff for 12 seconds. But actually with him, the more eliminations you get, the longer the Warcry is. And also with Gold Trooper Ramirez or Brainiac Jonesy, you get an additional 3 seconds, so it's a 15-second base Warcry, which is really good, just 15 seconds of annihilation. And then with him, you can get up to 13.5 more seconds added onto that. So that's 28.5 seconds of Warcry, and that's just insane. So that means if you kill 15 enemies before that Warcry is up, you'll get that max 28.5 seconds. And with Happy Holidays and Colonel Wildcat, you'll actually get a cooldown reduction. So that means you'll only be waiting 16.32 seconds after the Warcry until you could do it again, which is only, it's quite a short time for this insane ability. And also with the Warcry, with Star Spangled Headhunter, each shot has a chance to cost no ammo whenever Warcry is active. So what this means is it doesn't cost you ammo, but the ammo stays in the weapon. So it basically gives you a higher magazine, which is just really good. And it's an LMG with crack shots. So that means after 50 shots, you'll be getting a ton of extra damage boost, and with the higher magazine, you'll be able to have that damage boost for a lot longer. So yeah, I'd say Steel Wool Carlos, he definitely has the longest war cry in the game, and he's a really good character, so if you get him in the Canyon Valley questline, then I'd say he's worth the upgrade. But anyway guys, if you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, because I do these review videos where I review everything in Fortnite Save the World 3 times a day, and also like, comment, and share so that more people can see my videos. But anyway guys, I'll see you next time.